Everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing pretty well. Today's actually Friday, February 21st, and yes, I have another video on a Rinseless wash, and it's going to focus on me using Griot's Garage Rinseless wash. This is their new Rinseless wash that was released to the market here. Before we get too far into the video, I need to thank, and I think we should all thank, Ryan over at Fine Detailing for sending this product out to me to test out. So Ryan's got a great video. Again, just follow him. I'll post a link to his Instagram and his YouTube. You guys go ahead and subscribe to his channel and follow him on YouTube. But he reached out to me after he posted his video online. I did watch his video, and it was a good video. And we'll talk about his results here in a minute. But he reached out to me and said, "Hey, are you going to test out the new Griot's Rinseless wash?" And I told him it wasn't even on my radar. And I think not too long after I responded, I said, "Hey man, like if you want to sell it, I'll go ahead and buy it from you." And he actually was kind enough to just send it over my way. So he did keep some to him, so that he can continue playing around with the product there on his end, which is perfectly fine. I wasn't looking to have the full bottle anyway. I don't think I'm going to be keeping this product either. So if you're in the lower 48 states, I will send you whatever is remaining here. First one that email me, just go ahead and respond to me in lower 48 states. I will send this product out to you. You can use it up. Kind of like a pay it forward, right? Ryan paid it forward to the friend of his, and then he paid it forward my way. So I'm just going to pay it forward and give it to somebody else, and they can use it up and do whatever they want with it. So let's talk about the Griot's Rinseless wash. Now it has a typical lingo on the front here: quick, easy, and versatile. No hose, no hassle. So it says high shine, save water, no rinse. So the typical stuff from a rinseless wash. So let's read what this product actually is. I would read it on the back, but the label's kind of hard to read. So let's read what this product states from their product information here on their website. Now I will say that the product retails for this size. This is a 35-ounce bottle for $20, and the gallon is $50. And that's as of 2025, February 2025. That's the cost of it. So I'm just going to read you what the product information states here. It says rinseless washes, highly lubricated polymer formula, leaves a high gloss finish by lifting dirt and removing light to moderate surface contaminants. Simply pour 1 ounce of our highly concentrated formula into 2 gallons of water. Dip a plush microfiber towel into the resultant solution, and your plush microfiber transforms into a super saturated silky wash tool. Simply wash, then dry using your favorite PFM terry weave towel. This product is ideal for mobile detailers, pre-wash prior to paint correction and ceramic coatings. It is perfect for maintaining collector vehicles, minimizing moisture exposure, and safeguarding rust-prone areas for lasting preservation. Use with rinseless wash secondary bottle for the perfect mix every time. So yes, he did include the secondary bottle. So I'll send this off to you as well. And on the back, you can it has 32:1 dilution here. And it has all the dilutions on the back here. So let's take a look at the dilution. So the dilution for the rinseless wash, typical 256:1. That's what it has on here. And again, typical for that. Clay lubricant and interior or exterior detailer, 64:1. Waterless car wash, 32:1. Car wash, water softener, 128:1. And a wash bucket during traditional washing. Keep in mind that if you are going to be using this in your bucket to soften water, although rinseless washes don't soften water, they just encapsulate the mineral that's in there. If you're going to be using it in your soap, you are going to kill the suds. Just going to keep that in mind. That's just the nature of the beast when you're introducing rinseless wash into that. It says for tip of the trade for added versatility and simple diluting, used with our rinseless wash secondary bottle for clay lubricant, interior or exterior detailer, and waterless car wash. That's what you use the secondary bottle for. And again, has little boxes here where you can check whatever dilution ratio you have on here. We're not going to use this. I just wanted to showcase that. So let's talk about, let's just go ahead and dilute this. I'm going to go ahead and give it a good shake. So before I do that, let me go back to Ryan's video. So Ryan, when he made his video, he did the one dunk test using a microfiber towel, and he noticed that the dirt wasn't released completely from the towel. Now I'm going to do this is generalizing when it comes to rinseless washes, because there's a few categories of rinseless wash. You have your polymer-based rinseless washes, which is something like this, or another one, for example, is Nexen ZNR, which is polymer. Another one that's a polymer rinseless wash is RRW from Koch Chemie. Optum no rinse, I don't have that on hand. So you have those are like polymer based rinseless washes, and then you have like the hybrid style, which is a mixture of surfactant and polymer. That's where like your DIYs come into play, or your Hydra. Then you have some that are more surfactant heavy, kind of like McKee's 37. If you shake it, you get a lot of suds on there. So again, you have quite a mixture and variations of rinseless washes on the market, and they all do the same thing. They're all going to accomplish the same thing, meaning they're all going to clean your paint in a safe manner. It's just some have better cleaning power. Again, at this point, every rinseless wash that comes out is pretty good, and it's getting to be like soap, where just pick one and they all work, and just use your favorite one. So we're just going to share the user experience with this Griot's one. You can actually see that when I shake it, it does have a little bit of foam. So again, even though it's a polymer-based rinseless wash, there are some surfactants in there. It's just this one leans more to the polymer side of things as its primary backbone. So let's get back to what Ryan showcased on his microfiber towel. He noticed it didn't release the dirt from the microfiber towel. And again, I'm going to overgeneralize that polymer rinseless washes generally don't have the cleaning power that a hybrid rinseless wash has, or a surfactant based rinseless wash. So they're not always going to clean your towels if you're going to be dunking them back in your solution. We're going to go ahead and use a gray towel here today. That's just the nature of it. Optum no rinse does the same thing, and the other two that I just showed you do the same thing. Sometimes you'll see a little something left on your towel. Completely normal. And then if you use one of the other surfactants or the hybrids, it's going to clean that out. That's just the way that these polymer rinseless washes are. They're not going to come out completely clean. You do have some exceptions on certain rinseless washes, that are polymer. They have it's always based on the surfactant that's in there. So let's go ahead and shake this up. And this has got a funky top. So that's what the top looks like here. It's got a little flip top. I will say that when Ryan shipped it, it did leak a little bit, so it's probably not the best for it in here. I think it needs probably a stop plug when they ship it. So I have 3 gallons of water in my bucket. I'm going to go ahead and pour about 45 milliliters of product. Yeah, this top's got to go. Get that thing out of here, and then I can just pour it like so, or you get a proportioner and you put it on there. So you can see it's really dark blue, and it reminds me, it's giving me a lot of O&R type vibes. That's exactly what this is giving me. And when I watch Ryan's video, I was like, ooh, that's O&R-esque. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just mix this in the bucket. I'll just pour it in my bucket. And I'm going to go ahead and make my pre-spray, which my pre-spray here is just taking my bottle here, and if I can open it. Okay, just make sure that there's nothing in here. Just take my pump sprayer, dunk it in here. I'll just go ahead and pump it up right now. So it's got a good enough pressure in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using a gray microfiber towel to hopefully capture some dirt on here. We'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll dunk it back in there to kind of see if we can mimic Ryan's results. And for demonstration purposes, I'm going to use the McKee's gold sponge. This one's great for video purposes because it's yellow, and you guys can see that it whether there's dirt on there or not. There's still a little bit of dirt in here. Probably needs to be cleaned with some APC, but again, for the most part, it's relatively clean. You just soak that thing in there, and we're good to go. So let me actually take this. I'm going to go ahead and flip it. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and use it. Now the Equinox is not super dirty. We're going to be using it in the sun. As I mentioned, it's not super dirty because I washed it last week with the iconic Rinseless wash. I mean, it's got a nice layer of dirt on there. I think it shows on there. So let's go ahead and pre-spray the glass. I'll wash the glass first, but you can tell it's a polymer just because it beads on there rather than kind of sit flat. So let me go ahead and we'll just do the whole glass. On there. So I'm going to use the microfiber towel for this. Just trying to wring out some of the water. Okay, so let's just go ahead and grab as much dirt as we can. Okay, so under the towel, it's got some real good lubrication. Again, very ONR-esque, and it's in the way it works. Okay, so you can pick up just a little bit of dirt on there. You can actually see it. I'm going to use the same side just to get as much dirt as I can while I'm washing this. So under the towel, it feels good. No complaints. Let's go ahead and dry this. Okay, so it's not the strongest cleaner because it's got a little bit of something there. Good, nice wipe off. Can't really discern if it's leaving anything on the surface, but again, it's just a nice wipe off, even in direct sun. So no complaints with the wipe off. Let's flip it over to another dry side and make sure it's completely off. So it's clean. Looks real good. Actually, I did leave my glass a little smeary. So I'll check in here. And left my glass a little smeary. So maybe the wipe off is not as clean as you like it to be. Let's go ahead and do this side of the hood here with the towel, just to get more. So it's not as, so it does look like it's got a good layer, a good amount of surfactants in there. But again, the polymers tend to bead up like that on the surface. Okay, so I'm just kind of playing around with the pre-spray. We're going to go ahead and flip this over to the other side. Okay, so I picked up some dirt on the surface. So that's one thing about light color cars is they're deceiving. You can see the dirt's right there on the towel. And so let's go ahead and do the one dunk test while I have you here. Normally, if you're using multiple towels, you're not going to be doing the one dunk test because you're going to probably have a few dozen towels in there, like 6 or 7. Let's take a look at this and see how this goes. And so we'll kind of just dunk it in here. Again, if you do the one dunk test with this, completely up to you. But at least, so yeah, so you can actually see. It's kind of hard to tell here. See if I can pull it. So there is a little bit of dirt, like right here. I did a good job releasing, but you can see that there's still dirt on certain parts of the towel. I think you guys can actually see that there's still a little bit of dirt. Again, that's normal for a polymer rinseless wash to do that. I think if I want to see if I can agitate it on the bottom of the grit guard and see if that kind of, where I have the dirt lock thingy. So that actually helped it release the dirt if you scrub it against the bottom of the grit guard there. On both sides came out relatively clean. So keep that in mind, that's normal for a before that, and we're going to go ahead and just test it with a sponge. Okay, so with a sponge it glides really good on there, so again, no complaints with that. Let me go over the surface before it dries one more time, because it started to dry in the sun. So it's not too dirty on the sponge. We'll see if we can get some more dirt on the other side. Let's go ahead and wipe this off. I mean, it's got a nice wipe off. It's not super slick or anything like that. Underneath the towel, it felt, I mean, on the sponge, decent. Nothing outstanding or that's going to set it apart from anything else that's on the market. Just clean this grill. Okay, so that's good. And like I said, I usually like to follow up with a secondary towel when the rinseless washing, just to make sure there's no residue on the surface, because sometimes these rinseless washes, like I noticed this with Carbon Collective will leave like a film, and I actually noticed that when I was using it as a waterless wash. Let's go ahead and do the other side of this here, and then we'll talk final thoughts on this. I hope I can get some dirt on the sponge. Okay, we'll switch hands here. Again, under the sponge, it feels pretty good. A bit of something there. It's not super dirty. I'm trying to grab dirt for you guys. Normally I'd be flipping the sponge over, but for testing purposes, I'm taking one for the team here. So it doesn't look super dirty. There's a little bit of dirt in there. Yeah, I just put it on top of the towel there and squeeze it out, and my sponge comes out clean. So let's go ahead and just finish talking. Let me dry this off before it dries, but before I lose my train of thought, and we'll talk about this rinseless wash and whether or not you should go out and buy it, just based on my initial use of the product here. My towel is falling apart here. Get this back over. I want to show you guys that, which is the side I use, this side here, that my towel is clean, so I'm not picking up dirt. I know a lot of people tend to kind of overcomplicate the rinseless wash process. I've seen people say that they don't like using one bucket and that they have to use 2 buckets, and in that second bucket they put just water in there. And here's the thing, if you're doing that, you're adding your water. So if you're going to be using a sponge, for example, just kind of wipe this off before it starts drying on the paint here. If you're going to be using a secondary bucket with just water, just keep in mind that you're more than likely going to introduce more water into your wash solution, and you're going to be diluting your product even more in the bucket. Keep that in mind. So I just want to mention that. So ideally you'd want to have your second bucket be more rinseless wash in there, but again, you don't need a second bucket for rinseless washing. Let me go ahead and flip the camera over, and we'll talk about the rinseless wash here from Griot's. So what I think about Griot's rinseless wash. So this is just my first use, my initial impression here. I'm going to go ahead and finish the Equinox and knock that out. But my results, I was able to mimic what Ryan saw in the fact that it's not releasing everything from the microfiber. Again, perfectly normal for a polymer rinseless wash to not always release the dirt from microfiber. Again, completely normal. It may require some agitation on either the grit guard that you have in there of some sort to get that remaining dirt off the towel there. But most of you who are doing rinseless washing with using multiple towels, you're not going to be dunking your towel back into the rinseless wash. Most of you are going to be cycling towels out and then putting your dirty towels somewhere else and setting them aside. You're not dunking them back in the solution. So again, it's a moot point if you're going to be using a microfiber towel and you expect it to release dirt on there. Not a big deal, because you're not like I said, you're not putting your towel back into the bucket. I'm putting it back in the bucket just to show you whether or not this releases dirt in quote the one dunk test. Again, that's everybody's experience is going to be different. So that's my take on that. And then from let that motorcycle go by. From a rinseless sponge perspective, it has good lubricity on the sponge. You can actually tell. So under the sponge, it felt slicker than the microfiber towel. The microfiber towel, again, the towel is actually pretty plush. It's like a 500 GSM towel or something like that. So that one tends to have a bit more drag on the paint. Like if I was to use my 350s, my Eagle Edgeless 350s, it'd probably feel much better. But under the sponge definitely has more lubrication on there. That definitely glides easier on the surface versus a microfiber towel. So you are going to notice a difference in the lubricity, that the sponge feels better as it glides better on the surface. Cleaning power, again, it's a polymer rinseless wash. For a polymer rinseless wash, it does a good job. It released all the dirt from my sponge, but again, the sponge is going to release the dirt better than a microfiber towel. And as I mentioned, most of you are going to be using, if you're on one spectrum or the other. You either like the sponge, and if you're using the sponge, you're going to be using one bucket. It's going to release the dirt, and all the technology of the rinseless wash is going to keep the heavy particles suspended down at the bottom of the bucket. And if you have a grit guard on there, it's going to stay at the bottom, and you're not going to have all the heavy stuff at the top of the surface. If you're using multiple towels, again, you're going to be cycling your towels in and out, basically out. I mean, not so much in. So you're going to be perfectly okay, and you're going to have clean solution that you can use later on. If you're going to be using a sponge, you're not going to have clean solution to use it for the next wash. But again, overall, did pretty good. I think it's very ONR-esque, as I mentioned. It reminds me of Optimum No Rinse, the blue stuff. Is it better than a Nexen ZNR or Rapid Rinseless Wash? Not in my personal opinion. Those are better polymer rinseless washes. Even like I said, Carbon Collective is a better rinseless wash, and that's it has a good mixture of polymers, and there's some surfactants in there. So again, from a polymer rinseless wash perspective, it's a good option to have, because eventually it's probably going to be sold locally at your whatever the name of the parts store. Anyway, so your local auto parts store will probably be there. So if you're ever in a pinch, you can always just go in and buy some at your local auto parts. That's the one benefit of this product here, is it's probably going to be available locally. But I think they did a good job with this rinseless wash. It just doesn't stand out as something I have to go out and buy. And this is why I was trying to explain to Ryan, it just wasn't on my radar, because there's nothing in this rinseless wash that's telling me, wow, I have to go out and buy this. This just doesn't do it. But again, it's a good rinseless wash, middle of the pack. It doesn't stand out for me in any sort of way, but it does a good job in everything that's designed to do. Clean your car in a safe manner, easy wipe off, good lubrication. What more can you ask for in a rinseless wash? That's really the only thing that you need for a rinseless wash. And again, it's versatile, just based on the dilutions here. Clay lubricant, you can use it on the interior. Waterless wash, you can use it as a water softener, but you can do that with any rinseless wash as well. So that's where I'm at with this product. Again, it's just, for me, it's middle of the pack. It doesn't really stand out and say, hey, it's a must go buy. But I just want to share my personal experience using the product. And yeah, again, first person to email me, I will send this over to you and you guys can test it out. Let me know what you think. Again, there's probably about half the bottle in here. So this is a 35-ounce bottle here. You can see on the bottom. So again, you can enjoy this. I'll send it out to you. Just send me your shipping address. As long as you're in the lower 48 states, I will cover shipping and you can test it out. So other than that, that's all I have for you guys. Let me know what you guys think about this product. Are you guys going to try this out? Is this something that is catching your eye as a must-have product, or are you going to use something else that's out in the market that kind of just post your thoughts? I'm really interested to hear that. So again, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care, everyone.